Good morning, and this is a video lesson regarding Schoology and how to create your course, your table of contents, an organization that's going to be best for your users. Sometimes what's best for the teacher may not really be best for the end user, the student, and that includes the parents as well. So last year and years past, I had used this system of foldering. And what I used to like to do was create the blue folder as the default. So if I added a folder in my course, and you can see this is my social studies course, but if I added a folder, I just called this marking period one, let's just say, it will default as blue, and I could rearrange this and pull it up to the top if that's what I was going to do. Actually, just prior to making this, I added a folder called Resources for Students, and this might be a place where I put some screencasts that Brent Peterson or myself, Paul, makes for the students, or if you make for the students about how to log into a particular app, how to use something on your iPad, maybe how to take something from Notability and send it over to Schoology. So different resources that might be helpful along the way would be good for students to have a space. But inside marking period one, I can click into that and then begin to create some different folders as well. And I'll just give you a hint at how to look at this. So let's just say I'm going to do 3 units in the first marking period. So I'll just create some placeholder language that will allow me to just get my head organized with my course as I either begin to create or bring materials over from last school year. And I'll just call that Unit 3. So let's just assume in Unit 1, I like this system of green means go. So I'm going to edit that folder. This is the unit that I want the kids to, the folder that I want them to click on. I could always hide the folders and unpublish them. So in other words, I don't have to lesson plan everything for tomorrow tonight, a Sunday night for a Monday morning class. So that's kind of helpful just to unpublish some different things. But once I get into my unit and I begin naming things, um, parents gave us feedback during the COVID shutdown in the springtime that it's helpful when we name our assignments a little bit more thoughtfully. In other words, like this is homework number one, number two, number three. So when they see it, especially if you're a middle school or high school teacher, if when the parents see it on Power School, they could match up what those titles are. So I've always used this system. I'm just going to pretend to add an assignment here. I'm going to use this system where I'll share it with you, and if it works, fantastic. I'll just call this marking period one, and I'll call this homework one. And then I'll type in, introduction to social studies. And I'll just keep on using that system throughout my course. And one thing to keep in mind, and I'm going to highlight this title, Schoology, to my understanding, only allows 50 characters to be your title when it gets pushed over to or synced over to PowerSchool. So if you're having any issues with that, you might want to be careful with how long you're phrasing things. But in this case, I can go ahead and fill in all the different things that you'll see in other Schoology courses that we are teaching. So hopefully that's helpful. Let me see. There's my screen. Um, to allow things. So I'll just create this like this. I'm getting a little mixed up with my mouse button. I got to put a category in. I'll just call this ungraded. And I'll create that for now. And my naming system will come up. So this is what I was thinking that I would do in addition to this year. Let me show you what I did last year just to give you an idea of how it might look to the students. So marking period one, again, this is completed. So these went from being green back to blue. But if I just click into our first unit, the part one, everything was named so that things that were being completed, quiz one, homework, classwork five, things that I graded or that were listed here in Schoology. So it really had that naming system. I'll click into one more folder just to show you as it rolls along through the school year. So I'll just skip ahead a little bit to part three. And here we are, marking period two, classwork four. And I'm just continuing to move right through my system in 10-week increments with this MP1, MP2. And what's nice is that when I show the gradebook, it will have that, or excuse me, when I show the PowerSchool grades, And if I want to go back and look at different items to sync so that they are working back, you'll also see that this will go right in alphabetical order according to marking period 1 and so on. So that's a nice feature as well. But there definitely is an expectation that we are naming things, not cookie cutter. It doesn't have to be like that, but that we're naming things so that our end users, which are students and parents, can understand. I hope this helps, and if you need some further assistance, just get a hold of Brent or myself, Paul, and we'll be glad to help you.